I can start, I guess. So yeah, here we are. So and then the toolbar layout, we use something called image view, which corresponds to this image, and then this text view. So it's the getting out into all the things. And then there is a text view, welcome text view, where we are going to welcome the user. And then there is a search box, which will be in the form of toolbox. I named it search box, and the function of the search box is to what can you say? Is to go to another activity when this search box is clicked. It will go to another activity where the list of cities will be available, and there will be a search box on the top. Uh, you will see. This will, when you click on this search box, you will be redirected to another activity where you have all the list of cities, and there will be a search box on the top where you can search the list of cities from that search. So how will we join the next meeting as there is no link in the website? Can you provide us with some ID? Okay, I am. I will provide the link, don't worry. Yeah, uh, that is the link I have already sent. Actually, you don't need the link. Actually, if you can save the, if you can save the copy the link, just copy it. Otherwise, you don't need the link because even it's all the same. The links are all same. So even if you click the what can you say the current timing, you will be redirected to this meeting. So yeah, all the meetings are conducted on this link only. So you just click on any one of the timings and you will be all the links, all the timings will be redirected to this same link. And after the search box, I have a recycler. Yeah, here. There is a recycler view, which is this. Recycler view is nothing but a list of items which are arranged in, suppose, let's see, how can I say? It's something more advantages than list view. What list view does is that it won't delete after using. Actually, what is the major advantage of recycler view is the memory. Actually, whenever, for example, let's say there are 10 items in the recycler view, and you are scrolling down, and for suppose, let's say you went went after first item, second item, third item, and you came to the fourth item, which means right now on your screen the fourth and fifth items are there, and the one, two, three items will get deleted from the memory. That is what recycler view does. The main advantage of recycler view is that it helps us in saving memory, because if there is a lot of memory consumption, definitely the app is going to crash. There will be a lot of out of memory errors which you are going to see in your app. And yeah, if there is an out of memory error, I'll suggest you to do two things. uh, just decrease the size of the images. Just go to some online. If the image is png file, then just go to png compressor and compress the png file. its JPG, just compress it. Any image, just compress it, and the size will get decreased. That is one thing you have to do. And another thing, I would suggest you to Google it. I think Google, after Googling, you can get just place the Android large heap is equal to 2 in the Android manifest.xml file. In case if you get them out of memory error, right now you don't need this. In case you got the out of memory error in the app, you'll see it in the logs. Just whenever there is an error of crash, just look it in the logs. If it says out of memory error, then just copy and paste this. This will help and decrease the size of images. That is the main thing which is causing which is causing out of memory. So yeah, that is why we are going to use Recycle View, because we don't want to waste our memory on something that is not useful for us, because the three items which are we are not viewing is not of use for us, and we don't want those items to use our memory. Yeah. So it is the name itself says Recycle View, which means it destroys and then again it creates whenever we want. Yeah, that's it. And then we will be having the card view. I'll show you. How can I go down? Okay. Okay. So let me tell this in the emulator. Actually, for this to open in emulator, what I have to do is I have to go to for main activity. And actually, I can't use Firebase authentication here. So if I want to show you people in the emulator, I shouldn't use Firebase authentication. So I won't use Firebase authentication. First, first activity class directly without a condition. I'm just going to first activity. This is not needed. Just change this one because it's the first one. Of course, definitely this is okay. So let's just this is the way it will run. Let it run. It's run. Yeah, I'll show you the down part also. Don't worry. So it's just yeah. I want you to know what is card view. Card view is something which looks like a card, which looks in the shape of a rectangle, and you will have items in that card. You will see when this app runs on the emulator. I'll show you how the card view looks like and how a recycler view looks like. I'll show you. And recycler plan. Mainly this layout is most, yeah, you will use recycler view and card view a lot of times. Most of the apps, in almost all of the apps, you will use recycler view and card view. These are two important things that you have to learn. Mostly it is card view and that is with this fragment layout. On next one. Okay. After this form fragment, actually what you can do is that you don't need to first design all these layers. First, just keep a simple text view called something like home fragment here, and then just uh, create something called saved hotels fragment, which represents saved hotel. Where is it? Yeah, fragment saved hotel. Create a fragment called saved hotel. So and just keep a text view here just to recognize that this is saved hotels fragment, and just uh, show a text view that this is saved hotels fragment. Just don't design the layout yet. So and then go to just create bookings fragment, and then keep a text view showing that this is booking section, and then go create fragments view section, and then show a text view here showing that it is view fragment. And then after creating all the four fragments, the main thing that we have to achieve first is that whenever you are clicking that icon, the corresponding fragment should be shown. That is the first main thing, important thing that we have to do. And later on, after that is achieved, then we can then we can start designing the layout. So first we have to achieve the fragment transition. What's the difference between recycler view and list view? I have already said that list view uses a lot of memory. It won't delete, it won't destroy the items after usage. Whereas recycler view does. Recycler view destroys the items after usage. What is the relation between activity and fragments? Activity is independent and fragment is dependent. Activity is independent of everything. It's like it's you can define one particular activity separately, but whereas in a fragment, for example, if you're saying that I have a fragment, first I will ask you are showing that fragment on which activity. So yeah, whereas if you talk about activity, I have an activity, I won't ask anything because it's completely independent. Whereas fragments are dependent on activities. Without activity, they can't be shown. And yeah, I guess you understood the recycler view and list. Recycler view, it will destroy the items after usage, whereas list view that won't destroy the items after usage, which means that list view consumes memory which is not required by us. And the main thing that we have to achieve right now is the fragment transition. So whenever the corresponding item clicks, we have to show the corresponding fragment. So that is the main important thing. Yeah, I think it is launched. So, yeah, got it. Why it went to the what means is first one should go to first activity like this. Okay, whatever. Just right now what we want to achieve is something different. Uh, right now, don't worry about the layout. What right now we want to achieve is this fragment transition. So just go to first activity. And yeah, remember that right now we have four fragments: home fragment, average fragment, bookings fragment, and view fragment. And you have all those four fragments, and each fragment has a text view inside it. So each fragment has a text view inside it, which shows which fragment it is. The home fragment has a home text view showing home, and view fragment is having a text view showing you like that. So yeah, that's it. And nothing, no more layout is there for you. We now need to, when the home button is clicked, we now need to show home text view. When I mean the layout which is contained in the home text view. And whenever this saved out list click, we have to show the corresponding fragment. And yeah, so what we are going to do is, firstly, I will just this is for notification, so don't worry about it. We didn't came yet for that notifications thing. So yeah, don't worry about this token ID. We need token ID for notifications, which you want, if you want. For suppose we a chat was also there in the app in our app. So for chats, actually we need notifications, and that is why we are using this thing. Yeah. So by default, we are making the home fragment as the default fragment. So that is why first let's define two fragments. Selected fragment. There are two fragments. Selected fragment, which means the fragment that you have selected, and yeah, that's it, I guess. Selected fragment. It all depends on selected fragment. Where are login activity and sign up activity? This is actually a different project. This is the main project. Actually, I found it difficult to copy and paste it there. And like I didn't have time actually for that, so that is why I didn't did that. Yeah, so that is why I'm explaining directly from here. Login and sign up activities are here. The another project which we are using to upload the GitHub code. So after this session, I'll just copy the code and copy the code to here, and I'll upload it to GitHub. So yeah, okay, and so yeah, where are we? Yeah. So the firstly the selected fragment is that actually right now you have home four fragment. So yeah, I forgot you to show how you create the fragments. So if you want to create a fragment, which means that you have to create individual layout and individual logic file, which means you have to just go to layout and just create an XML file, new layout resource file, create an XML file, you open a pop-up, just type whatever fragment you want. I want fragment home, fragment home, and define whatever layout you want. By default, it will be constant layout. But I won't suggest you to start with constant layout because that is something difficult to use. So for beginners, I won't suggest that. Yeah, just click on OK, and then the layout will be created, and then you need a logic file for that corresponding layout also. So just go to Java now. It's not an activity, so you can't create an activity. You have to create separate files. So just create new Java class, and then type something like home fragment or whatever new name you want to name it. So whenever there is a fragment, just use the name fragment so that you will know that it is a fragment. Then just click on OK, it will be created. So right now we have four layouts for those fragments, and we have four Java files for the fragments. So we have, where is it? Saved hotel fragment. We have view fragment. There is home fragment. We have home fragment, and we have bookings fragment. There is the bookings fragment. Yeah, we have bookings fragment. So first try the code for this home fragment, U fragment for all these four fragments, and then you have to go to like go to this first activity to assign all those four fragments to the corresponding icons for the bottom navigation, because the bottom navigation view is in the first activity. First go to home fragment. Nothing. Will just extend the home fragment to the fragment class, which means that this code is being used for a fragment. And so why many words are crossed in your code? It means that the it is depreciated. The method is depreciated. So suppose if the let's say see this fragment. This fragment is depreciated, and you can see that whenever I click on this Android.app.fragment with this method is depreciated, which means the inspection reports where depreciated code the inspection reports where depreciated code is being used. So yeah, you can use depreciated code, but I won't suggest you to use it. But actually, when we are coding this project, yeah, it is not depreciated, so we used it. But right now it's depreciated, so it's like that. So will it work or it have a problem? No, it will work. Will work. It doesn't. It won't be having any problems. It will work. Mhm. Where are we? Yeah. And then I'm using some method called new instance, which will return which will return a new instance of the home fragment, which means it will return the fragment itself. So it will home fragment equal to new home fragment, and I'm returning that fragment. Yeah, and then so just implement the methods which are required for the fragment. On create view is one method which is required for the fragment. And On create view is nothing but on create is something which is called when the activity will be called, and on create view will be called when the view is called. So right now you know that your fragment is not an activity and definitely it's a view, so you have to write all your code inside the on create view method. And yeah, so you have to first inflate your layout, which means you have to first link your layout file to this Java file, and then only you can proceed. Can you explain shared preferences one? Shared preferences are like how can you say, storage files uh, for the app within themselves. For suppose let's say you have only some small files to show, and you don't and uh, you have only got some small files to store, and you don't need a database to store files. It's just some, let's say for suppose 3 MB or 4 MB data, and you don't want to use database, and yeah, you are not going to use a database for 3 MB or 4 MB files, and you have only small amount of files. So yeah, then the shared preferences comes into picture. So yeah, to store small amount of data, you will use shared preferences. So yeah, first you have to link that layout to this Java file. So that is what I'm doing. I'm using a inflator, which means it will, let's say, for easy understanding, it will link the layout file and the Java file. So yeah, inflated.inflate. I'm linking this layout home with this view. And what I am doing is, so I am posting, like I am showing a welcome message for them. This is right now not there actually. Uh, I'll show you right now. We only have text views. Like as for your project, we only have text views, right? We are going to discuss this later. We only have a text view, so we don't need this right now. I'll tell you that also. All these things we don't need because we only have a text view right now for fragment. So what you have to do is that just create a class called home fragment. Just create a Java class called home fragment and extend it to fragment, and then create a and implement the corresponding methods. Implement on create view, and yeah, that's it. And then just inflate the layout, inflate the corresponding layout, so that they both get linked to each other. So just link the fragment home layout to this home fragment, and after that, when they are linked, here observe that you have to return this view, otherwise they won't get linked. After assigning this to view variable, you have to return this view at the last. After doing all the performing all the actions, you have to return that view, which means now the home fragment is like it is after performing all the functions, it is returning that particular view. And then yeah, I want you to use some method called this thing called home fragment new instance, and then I want to create just a new home fragment, and I want to return that fragment, which means it's a new instance of that fragment, of that particular fragment. That's nothing more. So yeah, just go to so by default I want it to be the home fragment, which I want to show you to the user. So I'm just by default I'm taking the selected fragment as the home fragment or new instance, which means the home fragment itself. And then I am uh, I am taking the bottom navigation view from the layout. I'm assigning it to bottom navigation view, and yeah, after that I am calling the method bottom navigation view dot set on navigation item selected user. This will get fired whenever you click on different icons in the bottom navigation. So let's say for suppose if you click on home, it will fire get fired. If you click on bookings, it will get fired. Click on view section, view icon, it will get fired. So whenever you click on some icon, this method will get fired, and we are going to write our transition here. So selected fragment equal to home fragment of new instance, that is by default. Now I'm using a switch case here. I am switching to the item.getItem ID. In case if it is home item that you click, I am keeping the selected fragment as home fragment of new instance only, and I am breaking this loop. And in case if it's saved hotel, I'm changing the selected fragment to saved hotel fragment. If it's bookings, then I'm changing it to bookings fragment. If it's you, then I'm changing it to you fragment. And yeah, whenever after that you just break the whenever you are assigning some, for example, let's say you have booked on you have clicked on bookings, then I just want to assign the bookings fragment to the selected fragment, and I just want to break it because I don't want to move forward. I don't want to assign it again to the new fragment that will cause it. So yeah, whenever your required action is over and you don't want to go forward in the loop, just break it. And after that, my fragment equal to uh, uh, okay. So yeah, this is one thing we need is that we need the selected fragment and the current fragment, because for example, let's say you are in the home fragment and you click the home fragment again, then the fragment transition should not happen. So that is one thing you have to take care of. So selected fragment is the fragment which you selected, and whereas my fragment is a fragment which you are currently in. So my fragment, you can find it using this. So the current fragment which is being shown to you, you can find it using this call get fragment manager dot find fragment by tag current fragment. And yeah, if and only if those are not equal, which means you are in a different fragment and you selected a different fragment, and that means like you are in home fragment and you have selected bookings, only then the fragment transition should happen. Otherwise the fragment transition should not happen. You are in the home fragment and you clicked on home again, and then it shouldn't the transition should not occur. So that is why we use this. And yeah, if you the selected fragment and the my fragment are different, then the transaction should happen. Yeah, this fragment transaction get fragment manager dot begin transaction dot replace. So we are replacing the frame layout with the selected fragment in place of my fragment. So right now, till now it is my fragment and you have selected another fragment. So I am replacing that my fragment with this selected fragment. And yeah, transaction not commit, will commit the transaction. So that's it. These will get fired only when you clicked on one of the items. What if you didn't click any items? What by default you want to by default you want to show the okay, so home fragment, right? So this is the code for that for showing the home fragment by default. And yeah, what if you press the on back press this nothing like when you press the back button, what should it do? So yeah, if the home fragment, right, you look first time you do the okay. So okay, so if the selected fragment is not equal to home fragment, which means that right now you are not in that fragment, you are not in the home fragment, then if you click on back button, I don't want to exit the app, I want to go to the previous what can you say, previous fragment, or I want to go to the home fragment. So yeah, if it's not home fragment, I want to go to the home fragment when the back button is pressed, and if it's the home button, I want to exit the app, which is finish. These are all depending on the layout. Right now we don't have any layout. So, so this is how we do fragments, and after doing that, you will be able to switch between fragments. So whenever you click on the corresponding icon, you can see the corresponding layouts having that particular texture, which helps you recognize whether you are doing it correctly. Now we need to go to home fragment. Home fragment and okay. So actually, yeah, it's not, I think I have to change the code for that thing to like not use Firebase authentication. So right now I can't do it. Okay. So actually what the thing is that I'm not able to go down here. Running out of time again, don't worry. So even if this meeting ends, don't go away. After 10 minutes, we can have a meeting. So, it's bad. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can see that this is the card. Uh, see this, it's down, but when you run the app, I think you already saw the app. So all these deals section or what can you say? All the other card views, everything is a card view here actually. I'll show you. Wait, from where did the card view start? Snap a little. So this is the deal of the day. You can see that it is in the form of a rectangle. You can see the top part of it, but the bottom is inside. So when you run the app, you can see that this is the card view. This is one card view. This is the card view of deals. Yeah, similarly, we have many card views. This is the card view. Wait, there are two deals for you. Okay, there are two card views. This is today deals. Wait 1 minute. Why am I seeing two card views here? Wait. Okay. 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 So what I am doing here is that I am using two card views in a linear layer. So for suppose there are, you can see that there are two cards. One is on the outer and the second one is placed on the outer card. See that the deal of the day is a different card and the today's deals is the different card. So that is what here we are doing it. Uh, yeah. So here it is the deal of the day, and then you will have this deals for you section. When you go down, you can see that there are two different cards. And then because actually I can't see the layout down here. What's happening? Yeah, wait. I have the layout here. I think I have the happening differently. Just wait for 1 minute. Yeah, I have it. So okay, I understood. These are two different cards. Actually, yeah, yeah. I saw it just in my phone. Yeah. So this is one card view that is you are seeing. This is the deal of the day card which you are seeing here. That is the card. And then there is another card view down below this thing. Below this thing, there is another card view which is saying deals for you, which will contain a table, row, and column. Yeah, we use linear layout here, but you can use table, row, and column, or you can use grid view also. Grid view, I would suggest you to use grid view because that will be like more UI responsive. So we have used linear layout here. So even yeah, you can use linear layout, but it won't be that UI responsive if the screen sizes vary too much. Let's say some 4.5 inch screen or 5 inch screen, and for some 7 inch screen, 6.5 inch screen. If they vary too much, if the screen size vary too much, yeah, they will show you. They will show you a difference. The linear layout shows a difference. So I would suggest you to use grid view because it's in the form of grid view only. So if you can use the grid view or grid layout, you can use that. And then yeah, and all these are stored in one card. That's I have six grid icons which I stored in this particular card. This card has six grid icons which I designed using linear layout. You can use it. You can use it. You can design it using grid layout also, and just keep it in the card view. Actually, card view, the UI of the card view will be very good, and it will be more like it will be, how can I say? It will be good to see that the card views. That is why we generally use card views. All we want is a good UI and good UX. Right? In preview downside, how can we know what is created? Yeah, actually, if you have a mouse, you can scroll down. But right now, actually, I don't have the mouse. Actually, by tomorrow, I'll arrange it. I didn't know that I have to use a mouse. So yeah, tomorrow I'll show you the preview again. If you have a mouse, you can just scroll down. But right now I'm using my laptop and I don't have a mouse. Okay, so that's it. If possible, I'll explain it again tomorrow. This whole fragment layout because I can't go down. And then after designing the home fragment, we'll go to the saved hotels track. Nothing will be there here, but there is something, but you are not able to see this actually. I said the visibility has gone. Mm, so, yeah. So first what we are doing is we are creating a related layer and then we are showing a toolbar. See, this is the toolbar which I am using in place of action bar. And then what we are going to do is that in case you don't have any in case you don't have any favorites, for suppose let's say right just now you opened the app and you haven't added any rooms to the favorites, then I want to show the user a layout which is something called this first favorites layout, and it will look something like this. So if the user doesn't have any favorites, I want to show the user something like this. And in case if the user has favorites, I want to show those favorites. So that is why I kept it. I kept the visibility as gone. Visibility as gone is something, what can you say? Invisible means the layout will stay there. It's just it, they will just become invisible. Whereas gone means they will just go away and you can bring them whenever you need. So this will like help you to make your UI responsive. But if you are making it invisible, then your UI will not be responsive. So yeah, and after that, yeah, after that image view, this is the image view, and then the text views, normal text views, yeah, everything normal, and then the button, some text view. Yeah, now not first favorites here. What if the user has, okay, I kept it invisible and should, so what if the user doesn't, what if the user have favorites? We don't want to show this first favorites layout because the user has some favorites. So this we'll we'll do it in this, we'll do it in the code. So yeah, right now I'm just showing you. So then I want to show them the list of rooms they have saved. So that I have to show in the form of recycle view, right? Because if you have a list of items, if you have a group of items and you want to show them in the form of a list, then here what we're going to use is recycle. So yeah, I kept recycle view inside. And yeah, item 0, item 1, item 2, and so on. How many items are there? Those many items will show. And after saved hotel, I'm going to use, so can you make arrangements for the recording recordings on our, for the my policy I need to follow, so can you please get them as soon as possible? Yeah, I asked them already. No? Like, they said that they will give you by today definitely. So I think yeah you will get them by today. So don't worry. I asked them day before yesterday only, and they said that I asked them yesterday for not and they said that they will give you today. Don't worry, Ashish bhai will give you that. How are we getting? I don't know that. I guess they will mail you or they will just post in the discussion form. I guess they'll just post the links. Mostly, yeah, they will give through discussion forum. But mostly, they'll contact me. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, this is also going to get over less than one. After that, save.